Welcome, friends, to the Stoic Balance. Does someone close to you in your life make you miserable? Do you always feel bad about yourself when you're around this person? Are you always trying to please them, but continually get put down? Sometimes the abuse is blatant. Others, it is with a passive-aggressive tone that makes you feel even worse. They will never show empathy or apologize for the mean things that they say or do. Then comes the gaslighting. Of course, it is always your fault. This person in your life will never acknowledge that they have hurt you. Do you have a family member who takes all of the joy out of holidays or gatherings by being so negative and mean? But let's also talk about how eerily charming that they can be to the outside world. My Stoic friends, today we are talking about the narcissist. The person in your life that makes you miserable. Could be your spouse, parent, other family member, or boss. The grief that this person causes you might even make you physically ill. If you are a victim of a narcissist, you're not alone. And this video is definitely for you. So stay tuned as we explore ways to help regain your power and peace of mind in the face of this person. Before we dive into these life-changing strategies, I encourage you to subscribe, share, and like this video, and most importantly, watch it all the way through without skipping, so you don't miss any crucial insights that could make a significant difference in your life. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." On with strategy number 1. Focus on what you can control. It's crucial to recognize that you cannot control the narcissist's problematic behaviors, insensitive remarks, or self-centered attitudes. As frustrating as their ways may be, you will drive yourself crazy trying to change or manage the narcissist, and likely fail in your efforts. Rather, you would be wise to focus your energy on mastering what is within your power, namely, your own reactions and responses. When confronted with the manipulative or demeaning tactics common of narcissists, consciously work on regulating your emotions and formulating a thoughtful, intentional response rather than just reacting. Do not stoop to attacks or blurted defenses. Think through how to firmly establish proper boundaries or call out disrespect while keeping your dignity. So, when the narcissist makes a demeaning comment about your appearance, you cannot control their hurtful words or tendency to criticize, but you can control whether you internalize the put-down or let it devastate your self-image. Take a few deep breaths to remain calm and recognize this is more a reflection of their issues than your own worth. You can choose to respond by politely asserting that you wish not to discuss your appearance, excuse yourself from the conversation, or remain silent. Do not react by making self-deprecating remarks or apologies. Know you can control whether this damages your self-esteem only if you allow it. Focus within on maintaining self-compassion, rather than trying to manage the meanness. By assuming responsibility over how you perceive situations and how you choose to reply, rather than letting the narcissist dictate your state of mind, you take back control. Instead of being reactive, you gain personal control. Rather than feeling victimized, you strengthen your self-mastery and resilience. Realizing the limits of your control, while learning to more wisely govern what lies within your power, is a key step in depriving the narcissist of power over you. Now on with strategy number 2. Be indifferent. Indifference is a profound tool when dealing with narcissists. In this context, it does not mean being uncaring or cold. Rather, it means choosing not to let a narcissist's behavior dictate your emotions and reactions. A narcissist craves attention and validation. When you practice indifference, you refuse to feed their ego by not providing the reaction they seek. This can be incredibly disarming. But how do you actually practice this in real life? It starts with a mindset shift, recognizing that a narcissist's behavior is outside your control, but how you respond to it is entirely within your power. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus said, We should not concern ourselves with things beyond our control. When a narcissist tries to provoke you, remember you don't have to engage in their drama or let their words affect your inner peace. The Stoic thinker Seneca also offers useful guidance. He taught the importance of emotional resilience. Narcissists often manipulate emotions, so by practicing Stoic indifference, you build a shield around your well-being, observing their behavior without getting entangled in it. In essence, Stoic indifference means maintaining your serenity, despite provocation, consciously deciding not to let the narcissist disturb your peace of mind. It's about finding strength in tranquility and understanding that your emotional state is your domain, not theirs. Adopting this indifferent approach doesn't just protect you emotionally, it also takes away the narcissist's power over you. Remember, indifference is not passivity, but an active choice to maintain control over your well-being. On to strategy number 3. Set boundaries. When confronted with a narcissist's selfishness or lack of empathy, it's understandable to feel frustrated or even angry. However, allowing them to elicit strong emotional reactions from us only gives them more psychological power. The Stoic approach is to remain detached and use reason to set firm boundaries. For example, if a narcissistic friend makes plans with you but frequently cancels at the last minute, you cannot force them to be reliable, but you can control whether you continue making plans with them. A Stoic boundary would be calmly informing them that you will no longer save dates on your calendar for them, unless they confirm the day before. Setting boundaries requires asserting your self-respect without expecting to change the other person. Detach from any frustration with their behavior and stick to matter-of-fact statements about what you are willing to accept and what you will refuse. This leaves the ball in their court without needing to criticize them or get drawn into debates. The Stoic sage Chrysippus said, "Whoever wants to be free must learn not to be humiliated by others." Keeping our personal boundaries clear is key to preventing narcissists from exploiting or manipulating us for their aggrandizement. While we cannot control their behavior directly, we can control our own dignity. Strategy number 4. Be strong and say no. This is a powerful tool in your arsenal when dealing with narcissists. It's about setting boundaries and standing up for yourself, something that narcissists often try to undermine. As Marcus Aurelius put it, it's not really the events themselves that stress us out. It's the meaning we assign to those events. This definitely rings true when a narcissist is making unreasonable demands. Refusing those demands isn't just about saying no. It's about the message you're sending about self-respect. You're making it clear that you get to decide where your boundaries are set, not the narcissist. Essentially, you're saying their attempts to manipulate you into meeting their every need are not going to work anymore. And let's be real, narcissists are used to getting their way. When someone suddenly refuses to play along, it catches them off guard. Their sense of control gets shaken up. As Epictetus would put it, you're focusing on what you can control in this situation, your willingness to consent to their demands. And by standing firm in your refusal, you're also staying true to yourself, one of Seneca's main principles. You're not compromising your values or letting this person's behavior pressure you into something you don't want to do. So in summary, just saying no is about so much more than just that one little word when it comes to narcissists. It's about stepping into your power and saying, "I don't play by your rules." It's about taking a stand for self-respect. And although narcissists may not like it, establishing those boundaries is so necessary if you want real dignity in your relationships. Strategy number 5. Avoid engaging in power struggles. Dealing with a narcissistic person can be incredibly frustrating. They seem to thrive on drama and antagonizing others. When they distort facts or pick fights, it's tempting to jump in and demand the record be set straight. However, experience shows that engaging in power struggles with narcissists rarely pays off. Going head-to-head with them often winds up draining energy and feeding their ego, rather than resolving anything. As difficult as it is, the best approach is typically to refuse their attempts to bait one into conflict. Of course, keeping calm and carrying on is often more easily said than done. There have surely been many instances where even someone familiar with these dynamics has lost patience when confronted by a narcissist's provocations. But cultivating non-reaction and non-escalation in response can help sidestep fruitless arguments. One effective tactic can be to respond firmly but neutrally, perhaps saying something like, "My perspective on this issue differs," or "I prefer not to argue about this." If the narcissist persists in disrespecting attempts to civilly disengage, withdrawing from the interaction may be the best recourse. Maintaining unruffled composure when someone pushes emotional buttons is no easy task, but refusing to let a narcissist manipulate emotions and actions builds self-respect and autonomy. Though the narcissist may not back down, by consistently holding ground in a thoughtful, confident manner, one can avoid falling prey to no-win trials of will and ego, and that is a significant victory in itself. Strategy number 6. Maintain mental clarity and do not take personally. When dealing with a narcissist's mistreatment, practicing stoic detachment can help prevent taking things personally. As the Stoics would advise, understand that hurtful behaviors often arise from inner turmoil and distortion within the narcissist themselves. Their words and actions, while unjust, may reflect their own emotional pain and fragility more than the reality of those they attack. Getting caught up in drama or attempting to reason with narcissistic provocations generally proves futile from a Stoic perspective. Meeting anger with more anger only fuels the fire. By staying anchored in reason and cultivating inner resilience, much like a Stoic sage, one refuses to compromise personal integrity or self-worth to narcissistic whims. Prioritizing self-compassion over reaction aligns with Stoic ideals of focusing only on what is within one's control. Attempting to fix or convince narcissists squanders that energy. Much wiser to direct such efforts inward than try changing those unwilling to see their distortions. The Stoic practice of viewing all human beings compassionately as essentially good despite outward behaviors can extend towards narcissists as well. Detachment and understanding. Their inner plight shifts the dynamic, cooling reactive emotions. This Stoic mindset prevents compromised integrity or self-perception. From a Stoic lens, the narcissist diminishes others in an attempt to compensate for inner deficits and pain. But their provocations reveal more shadows within themselves than anyone else's flaws. By taking such a broad, compassionate Stoic perspective, the narcissist's behaviors become much easier not to take personally. Strategy number 7. Practice self-care. Taking care of your own self is vital when dealing with a narcissist. Their belittling behaviors and constant demands can mentally, emotionally, and even physically drain anyone subjected to them. As a Stoic, it's essential that you actively nurture your overall well-being despite their attempts to chip away at it. Set aside time each day to recharge through reflection, light exercise, reading, and enjoyable hobbies, whatever resonates most with your spirit. This protects your energy reserves and ability to respond calmly in the narcissist's presence. For example, if you have a narcissistic boss who routinely takes credit for your work, lashes out at small mistakes, and heaps on the workload, you may leave each workday feeling frustrated, unappreciated, and exhausted. To counteract the toll this takes, dedicate time outside work to self-care. Go for rejuvenating walks, pursue a cherished creative passion, or read literature unrelated to the office. By separating your identity from this toxic work environment, you regain perspective and relief. This enables you to handle the next workday with renewed patience, wisdom, and endurance. Additionally, view this self-care not as self-indulgence, but rather self-preservation. The Stoics viewed the mind and body as one integrated system. Neglecting either one weakens you as a whole. By eating well, getting quality rest and relaxation, you equip your mind to handle challenges with wisdom and grace. Implement these personal renewal habits before exhaustion sets in. Don't wait until you have nothing left to give. Make self-care an ongoing priority rather than crisis intervention. In doing so, you strengthen the resilience and personal power to withstand the narcissist's tactics in the long run. Strategy number 8. Seek support. Getting support from others is critical when coping with narcissistic behavior or narcissistic personality disorder. The Stoic philosophers emphasized community and perspective from wise counsel, recognizing that suffering emotionally is part of the human condition. As Marcus Aurelius stated, you need help and allies. You cannot make it on your own. Given that narcissists can be manipulative and toxic, it is easy to start doubting your own perceptions or to feel emotionally drained. Establishing a support system aligned with Stoic principles can protect your sense of reality and your emotional well-being. Identify friends, family members, or a mental health professional who can offer non-judgmental listening and validation. Opening up to trusted allies about confusing or distressing encounters with narcissistic tactics can relieve the isolation you may feel. It can also provide external confirmation that you are not overreacting or being overly sensitive when confronted with narcissism. Support systems reinforce that your feelings and grievances regarding narcissists are grounded, real, and shared. Additionally, a strong support network may be able to provide constructive feedback about effective coping mechanisms while not getting immersed in drama. They can commiserate and comprehend firsthand the challenges of dealing with self-absorbed, exploitative, and volatile behavior. There is comfort in feeling understood by those who have navigated similar interpersonal struggles. Confiding in those who care about your well-being allows you to uphold Stoic ideals for building community resilience. You cultivate relationships that can become a reliable compass for self-care and for determining when and how to set boundaries against narcissistic mistreatment. Strategy number 9. Armor yourself with empathy. This is the most difficult one to do, but if you can find empathy for the narcissist, it can strengthen and empower you. Trying to understand where the narcissistic behaviors stem from can change the dynamic and help you manage interactions. It's important to remember that narcissism often comes from places of deep pain. The bragging, need for attention, and sensitivity to criticism may be signs of inadequacy, insecurity, and inner shame, rather than genuine self-confidence. The narcissistic armor they wear may have developed to cope with emotional wounds and fear of vulnerability. Seeing through the lens of compassion instead of judgment can prevent you from being drawn into unnecessary conflicts. Approaching with empathy rather than hostility reduces tension. This doesn't excuse poor treatment, but can reveal the suffering driving their defenses. Empathy takes practice, especially with toxic behaviors. It allows you to separate the person from the behaviors and maintain emotional control. Understanding motivations for narcissism helps you set kind but firm boundaries, rather than attacking back and losing your own inner peace. Leading with compassion is like a shield of armor to safeguard your dignity. Strategy number 10. Use logic and facts. The Stoic philosophers, with their emphasis on reason and emotional resilience, provide valuable insights when dealing with narcissists. Marcus Aurelius believed that logic and rationality are defining human traits. When communicating with a narcissist, engaging in a logical, factual way means operating on a higher plane rather than getting caught up in their emotional manipulations. Another Stoic thinker, Epictetus, encouraged focusing attention on what is within our control. In interactions with narcissists, we have control over our own responses and the basis on which we respond. By grounding our responses in facts and logic, we exercise agency over the conversation, rather than allowing the narcissist to dictate the emotional narrative. Seneca's teachings on tranquility of mind also come into play. He believed peace of mind stems from aligning with reason and virtue. To maintain tranquility with a narcissist, we must not get swept up in their drama, instead staying rooted in truth and rational discourse. Employing this strategy involves maintaining clarity of perspective when interacting with a narcissist. Rather than letting them manipulate the emotional landscape, we respond with facts and logic, keeping the discussion on firm ground. This can be disorienting for a narcissist, as it resists their typical exploitation tactics. Wielding logic and facts aligns with the Stoic principles of Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca. It not only helps manage narcissists, but preserves our mental composure. Having personally dealt with a narcissistic individual very close to me, I understand all too well the destruction they can cause. Practicing Stoic philosophy and cognitive behavioral therapy, however, has equipped me with the tools to cope and prevent their manipulations from dragging me down further. If you have endured similar hardship, I encourage you to research these methods of building inner resilience and tranquility. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel if you find my experience and advice helpful. Thank you for watching. Have a great Stoic day.